Introduction. The definition of entrepreneurial behavior is the act of recognizing opportunities and acting on sound concepts. The series of tasks that this conduct needs can be completed by an individual or a group of people, and they typically call for creativity, perseverance, and individual initiative. Many people are destined to run their own businesses. The main factor in surviving external change is behavior related to entrepreneurship.
When Ahmad Ashraf bin Wan Jeffrey, called as Ashraf Jeffrey, was born in Kelantan and now lives in Kuala Lumpur. He, who is already 34 years old, has been married for 10 years and have 2 children. He has continued studying in the field of mechanical engineering at Takushoku University for 2 years. After finishing his studies, he worked as a sales engineering at Matsuda Sangyo. The same company opened in Malaysia, and he turned back to Malaysia, worked for 6 months at the Matsuda Sangyo company, and then he was asked to lead the Mona Lisa Masturang company as retail and sales in Kota Baru, Kelantan, by his family. Mona Lisa Enterprise is the leading IT device seller in Kelantan at this moment. Mona Lisa has 5 branches in Kelantan, which is 4 of these 5 branches are located in the Kota Baru district. At the beginning of the business, this business started operating in Rantau Panjang, Kelantan. There is 4 factors that lead to the creation of Mona Lisa Mastura business, which is skills, location, stock, and marketing. The name Mona Lisa is a hereditary name from his grandfather because his grandfather used to open a business in the field of logistics. When his grandfather died, the company was deactivated for a while, and then Ashraf Jeffrey's father decided to start a computer store business. Therefore, to make it easier for any party when starting a computer business, his father decided to recycle the name from his grandfather's company. Furthermore, the name Mona Lisa is the name of Ashraf Jeffrey's auntie and is also his father's sister. Since then, he has been running a business in the field of technology. Target market was a young people and middle people, and there are 83 employees including interns that has been in Mona Lisa company.
Entrepreneur before starting a business, educational background. This journey formed a strong foundation for them in understanding the business world and developing the skills needed to become a successful entrepreneur. In this regard, Mr. Ashraf has a learning background that is very impressive. I will explain the important stage in his background from primary school to university. At the first secondary school level, Mr. Ashraf was educated at Falahiyah Religious Secondary School, Form 1 to Form 3, at the Pasir Pekan Wakaf Harun. Next, at the upper secondary school level, Mr. Ashraf got an offer to enter Terengganu Science High School, which is a full boarding school. Mr. Ashraf does not waste opportunities and grab the opportunities that are available. He entered this school from Form 4 to Form 5. He took the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM at the school and got excellent result. After finish high school, the next step in the entrepreneur's background is higher education, which is in the realm of university. He was offered a Japanese associate degree and did his study in Malaysia at Selangor Industry University in Shah Alam, Section 7, for 3 years under the education of Yayasan Mara, and continued his study in Japan and chose to enter Takushoku University in Tokyo in the field of mechanical engineering. In this description, I will look at Mr. Ashraf's work experience before starting a business that can provide a solid foundation for an entrepreneur before entering the business arena. Mr. Ashraf worked in Japan for 1 year at company Matsuda Sangyo as a sales engineer in 2012. Then Mr. Ashraf returned to Malaysia and worked in the same company, Matsuda Sangyo, because this company has a branch in Shah Alam and earns a salary of approximately 4,000 ringgit Malaysia per month. Next, he realized when he became an entrepreneur when he worked at the company Mona Lisa because he set up the Mona Lisa team and had a lot of experience in making sales. Not only that, he gave a lot of training to the workers so that the workers could do the work themselves. For 7 years, he sought business experience from 2012 until 2019 to open his own company. Last but not least, Mr. Ashraf family has an entrepreneur's pride. His father is a businessman and his mother works as a direct selling. Besides, his brother and sister were able to the business until they had their own company. Not only that, his brother-in-law is also the owner of the Cerang Family Clinic in Kota Baru, Kelantan. Overall, all of Mr. Ashraf's family are successful businessmen.
Then he started the venture. Firstly, Mr. Ashraf's motivation is hire people to work. He used the philosophy rather than giving fish, it is better to give a fishing rod. Now, the motivation is enjoy every process. Mr. Ashraf's goals is he wants to sell his company and make money and enjoy life with it. Next is type of belief. Mr. Ashraf has chosen the type of trust in terms of partner and about employees. The types of research are divided into two, financial and not financial. After he searched is financial, he said he used others people money like investor and bank. If the search is not financial, Mr. Ashraf said knowledge. It is very important. Then he used 5 applications like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube and Google. How worried Mr. Ashraf? He said that this feeling of comprehension can still be controlled. Next is business has its own risk and has its own solution depending on how the entrepreneur face it. About business plan, he was planned almost 2 years and the last one is at the beginning. Working hours are for 6 days with 1 day off. Now he decided to open every day. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Zulfikri bin Maznan. My card number is A22A0562. So today I want to talk about the number of employees in the company Mona Lisa. So the number of employees he has is 6 people. Employees are also an important thing that he must have. Employees must keep up with sale before and after production. This is because if sale do not reach the target, it can affect the employers. And second point, about entrepreneur, Mr. Mona Lisa has company manager plan to open branches around Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. Because after they discuss with his partner, running their business, they want to target 2 branches this year. So the last point is they are looking for a partner there to open a branch there. So
Next, entrepreneurs today and tomorrow. For the first question, what would he do differently if he had to do it all over again? First, he decided to improve in terms of partners and cooperate with the lawyer. Next is improve in terms of excitement to open a new branch in his business. Okay, next, the personal characteristics that he sees in himself that are critical to achieving success with this endeavor are first, discipline. It's because discipline is very important for someone. Okay, next, being aware of the surroundings. Third, minimizing loss and on stock. And lastly, maintain relationship with people. Okay, next what are his plan for future in terms of business ventures? For the Mona Lisa, he will only survive with the business without opening any new branch. And for the next Samurai Yakiniku business, he wanted to opening new branch in Terengganu and Selangor. Okay, next for Konoha Buffet business, he also intends to open one more branch in Terengganu. Next, what are his exit strategy, or does he not have one? He decide to cut loss. It is because if his business have a problems, he will try to cut loss for that loss. For example, maybe he should do some promotion for his product or else. So next, buy back the partnership according to the contract. It is because if someone do a business in 3 years, they can buy back the partnership that they agree with the contract. So let's agree to close the business when they have no other way out. He decide to close his business if they don't have other ways to out from the problems that can save their business. So he will close his business. Okay, next question. What an advice based on his own experience that he has for students interested in starting a business today. First, discipline, such as wake up early, manage time carefully, and others. It's because discipline is more important to someone. Okay, next, increase knowledge. He suggests for a student to work as an intern in any company. It's because the experience in working more need in some of jobs, and it can make them learn a new things. Next, students need to have a networking. For example, they know someone that can give benefits to them, so that in the future they can use people that give a benefit to them in something career or job. So the most important is more important is discipline. So they must have a discipline. Second, they must have a knowledge, and they must to know how to working to do something jobs. So from that, they must have experience in working. So that they can learn new things, and if they want to do any jobs, it's not don't have a problem to them to do it. So that's all.
Conclusion. After we interviewed the young entrepreneurs, we thought that maybe we would become an entrepreneur someday. It made us realize that we need to have the passion for starting the journey and ready to take the challenge to the outside world, just like Encik Ashraf. The key to being a career factor in business is that we honor our parents. This is what he himself said. This is because every action we take will be approved by our parents, and our sustenance will be abundant.